Bit of a tough one. All good things happening, but just the journey to get there has been a little bit steep. But as usual, we're doing the damn thing, so
I'm
you
going to kick
deserve
it
it.
off with the official Wine Down Wednesday and pour some wine in my glass while we have some conversations because I've had a Monday, Wednesday. And I haven't been able to do any promotion for Wine Down Wednesdays, but we will be doing this every Wednesday just around this time,
So if
trying
you have any
out.
topics that you want us to talk about, or if you want to chime in, feel free to shout us out and let us know.
And we will discuss your topic. So tonight we're gonna have a couple of things we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about COVID and dating. We're gonna talk about digital, the new digital currency that is upon us or coming towards us. And what else? We're gonna talk about all these pop-up pregnancies and not the pop-up shops like Nikki and
Zonique,
Zanique. There's a lot of popping up pregnancies going on.
COVID babies,
COVID divorces, COVID marriages.
COVID breakups.
And we're just gonna have a little basic conversation. We're gonna talk about business as usual during COVID. All right, namaste.
Cheers, namaste. That's first and foremost, business as usual.
Business as usual because we have to get to a new norm now in business, and we have to figure out how we still gonna make money, be productive, and be profitable while paying rent in offices like this and not actually entertaining walk-in customers because that's something that I'm juggling a lot. Being a parent, keeping your kids safe, and any other topics you guys want to DM us for next week's episode of Wine Down Wednesday. Because once the wine gets in my system,
All the topics become one.
the topics can go crazy. So now, what you want to talk about first?
Maybe we should just get the business out of the way, and then we can kind of glide into some more lighter topics. So we could talk about digital currency first. I think that's appropriate.
Okay. So, I have an investment license, so I cannot say a securities license, so certain things I cannot share. But what I will share is a general consensus that we are going to digital currency.
So this is not advice on how or what you should be doing, but just some information that you guys can all find yourselves. And we're just encouraging everyone to do their research to just see which way the world is moving at this moment, so you can stay abreast
Abreast.
on one sip of wine, and I don't know my vocabulary, on all of the new ways that people are starting to use currency. It's definitely something that's going to be very important moving forward, and definitely the way that the world is moving, which we've been aware of for quite some time, but we can see some transitioning happening. So everybody just needs to be aware and kind of have some knowledge on what's to be expected.
Correct. We need to follow international currency markets. We need to follow international exchange markets. We need to self-educate ourselves. And we need to do a little bit of discernment, people, because everything that you read or hear on TV does not necessarily mean it's true. Nor does it mean it's false. Like social distancing, safety, because if we probably would have listened back in the beginning of this to some of the sciences and not some of the 45 leaders and other people, we actually might have actually been able to enjoy our hot girl summer. And I wouldn't have to be Zooming or FaceTiming or Instagramming from the pod studio in my not occupied business space that I pay rent for. So, digital currency. You definitely need to get knowledge.
Education is the key, because digital currency means multiple things. So it isn't just one particular unit of currency, and you need to be abreast on that as well.
Zelle, Cash App, the value of the dollar. Whenever this digital currency and this new technology comes in, what is the value of the American dollar? The North American trade agreements. Stay abreast. Register yourself for information from the Small Business Administration. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of new trade agreements, a lot of business opportunities for businesses out here.
And also new businesses or businesses that you're just starting or trying to start. There are opportunities for you as well. So you definitely would want to start somewhere, especially during a time where everyone needs money. So it may be there may be more information out and more opportunities available during a time of crisis that you would not normally be able to get. So check on that first and foremost.
Make sure your checks and balances work. Make sure the currency that you invest in is something that is well regulated, well maintained, stable, and a little bit more economically safe.
Right.
On the real estate side, let's go to real estate. Commercial real estate is up in the air right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have my individual opinions. Many others have other opinions out here. If you are a person that can buy and hold, this might be great for you. But if you are a person that is teeter-tottering like Humpty Dumpty, don't let all the king's horses and all the king's men have to come pick your Humpty Dumpty back together again. Because if you can't buy and hold for an undetermined amount of time, this may not be the time for you to throw your hat in the ring, especially when it comes to commercial real estate.
And just because the real estate is at a good price doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a location. So definitely make that choice first, because as we've already seen, many businesses don't need locations and have come to that conclusion, including schools. So although it is a community thing and people would like to gather in those places, schools, churches, and other places that we never thought we would be able to live without have definitely transitioned into the new norm. So I would totally do research and see if there is a way that you could operate remotely before investing in something that is going to make you lose money unnecessarily.
Now, residential real estate, on the other hand, could be a good gamble. It's a good throw of the dice. Any mixed use opportunities that are available could be a good gamble. It's a great roll of the dice if the prices are right and the ROI, return on investment, is right. The LTV, loan to value, right? Or even resale, rehab value. Even on a purchase and hold, in a lot of instances, if you get a good residential rental property or mixed use rental property that can be anchored in residential rent, apartment complexes, i.e. multifamily units, you may get a great buy right now. Because as we've already seen prior to COVID-19, the rental rates have hit the roof.
Mm-hmm.
The interest rates are now dropping. So a lot more buyers are able to qualify for residential real estate. Mm-hmm. Interest rates are 2%. Great time to refi, maybe cash out on your existing home, modify a mortgage. So there are a lot of programs, and we are in contact with different lenders, at least here in the Metro Atlanta, and some of the lenders that we deal with are lending residential real estate, commercial real estate, even private investment lending for commercial and residential investment opportunities to qualified, and I hope you hear me loud and clear,
right.
qualified candidates. And qualified, they got some 580 programs, and that's great, but I would still stick in the 620, 640. Right now is a great time to dispute things on your credit. We got
excellent time.
Got some credit people working, because you can't, with your credit now, who's really reading all those disputes and how they only have 30 days and a lot of people are working with you.
Keep submitting those disputes, because they will eventually get seen. So, and most likely they will fly at this moment in time. Yes. So I suggest you get on that computer, check your Equifax, and get it done.
So I would like some people that are watching to message us some questions that you have, and we can talk about this next week, or we'll have a follow-up conversation, or we may individually message you back about the new norm of business.
Right. We could actually talk about this all day, but we are on a little bit of a limited time today, so we're going to move forward.
Okay.
So I think that was a great discussion. Guys, let us know how you liked it. And again, if there's anything else,
we got to talk about our day.
Well, our next step. Well, I'm talking about the business part of it. We're going to get into the juicy stuff now, so we know you're going to love that. But the business part of it, sometimes people, and we like to keep it light, and we like to keep it kind of bubbly, because it could be boring to some people, but I think we did a good job at explaining it in a in a way that can relate to people. And if you have any specific questions, let us know.
Definitely ask us. I do a lot of behind the scenes recommendations sometimes, or just conversation. It's great conversation.
Yeah.
One last thing on the business tip, I couldn't do it without throwing this in. Get your affairs in order.
Now is the time.
Get your estate in order.
Get your credit in order.
Get your credentials in order. Align yourself with what is coming next. With this digital currency shift, with the new norm of business, probably the 2022 people, so you need to buckle up your bootstraps and get ready. Make sure your living wills, your directives, your financial powers of attorney are in place. There are a lot of resources out here to help you get that. And please, my people, get life insurance. Make Black Lives Matter to other people besides us.
Make it a priority to get life insurance.
Life insurance. We won't have to even march
You can
that
definitely
much.
talk to us specifically about life insurance. If you did have any questions, or if you're thinking about it but you're not sure what kind of policy you need, definitely let us know, and we can definitely do a conversation and a consultation with that.
Business insurance,
Business
homeowners insurance.
yes, homeowners, renters insurance, car insurance, any type of insurance you may need, we can help you.
Real estate needs. We have a lot of little things. So now we're going to move into juicier topics.
Yes.
All right. So where we going?
So
next?
the next order of business is dating while during a pandemic, and also moving forward with the new norm as far as social gatherings and how you've been able, because the biggest question is, how can you date? And this was our biggest question in the beginning as single ladies. How can you get a date during the pandemic? Now, first and foremost, so the first thing that we said is that most likely everybody's going to be digging in the crates, which for those of you that don't know what that means, that basically means that you go through your phone or your DM, whatever it is, whatever form of communication you use.
I'm old school. They going through Nextel chirp bills over here and trying to chirp me. But go ahead. Through my mask.
Through my mask. That's a whole nother topic. So how do you meet people? Do you go on dating websites? Do you meet people? I mean, me personally, I've never been a DM person. I really do not like when somebody's getting to know me and they hit me in my DM. That's a little bit insulting to me. I don't know why. I mean, I don't think, maybe if that's the only form of communication, but if they don't ask me for my phone number, or if they don't ask for
well, right
anything
now
more.
we so far past that, because now I agree with that. If you organically meet, and I'm old school, I like old fashioned stuff, and I'm organic, and I believe in courting. So that's so old. Yeah, I might have to look it up. Some people, but organically, you generally meet someone. They're a gentleman. You exchange information, but now we're not meeting anyone, and so you would never pay attention to the thirsty Facebook DM random message. Oh, you're beautiful.
Hey, beautiful.
Hey, beautiful. Good morning.
That's a mess.
Good night.
Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning. Good night. And you don't know them from a can of paint.
Right. And even if I do know you from a can of paint, I feel like I'm in a rotation when you do that. So fellas, do not good morning, beautiful us.
Some of us ladies be rotating too.
Not that we don't do that, but we don't have a generic greeting for people. We actually put a little thought into it.
And then they asking for pictures. Can I have a picture?
Yeah.
And please, the most distasteful thing happened to me.
Oh, I already know what this is. We do not like dick pics. I repeat, that is not sexy, and it is not something that is flattering to see in your phone.
It is very disgraceful, disdainful, lack of any type of morality and respect for yourself to send a random picture of your
genital area.
What are we gonna call it? Your motorcycle out. Depending on if you got a dirt bike, a regular bike engine, I don't care what it is. I don't want to see that. That doesn't turn me on unless it belongs to me entirely, and I don't want to get it from a stranger. So please,
That's not a business card.
That is an immediate block. Okay? Now, if you exchange these southern pleasantries or pleasantries with each other after you get past a few of the stages of course, that's your business.
By request.
That is your business. But don't, me right here, don't send them to me randomly because I don't want to see that.
I'm not interested in either.
Don't try to entice me with you a baller, you got all this money and the gold chains and the fake teeth and nothing that I can look with my little diamond reveal and see if it's real or fake. Because I really don't care. Because I actually have been paying my own bills for my own stuff for quite some time. And I'm always open for an upgrade. But that's not my goal. That is not my dating goal.
It's not impressive. At a certain time of your life and you get more wisdom and you're doing other things such as the things that we mentioned earlier in the discussion, that type of stuff doesn't impress you anymore. It's actually a deterrent because it shows that your priorities are not in the right place, and it also shows that you value things that don't have much value. So with that being said, don't do that.
Don't do that. Now, so any app developers, please DM us. We have some app ideas. But the dating situation right now, okay, I'm going to just be honest. My kids told me that Leslie Ledbetter on the, it's like this little cartoon the kids watching on TV. If I call them, they'll probably remind me. But that she met a man, because they're ready for me to date too. She met a man, and they've already ordered up the type of man they want me to date. That she met a man on the internet, and he was a billionaire with bionic kids. So they want me to create a website. So in duress, during the pandemic, by the advice of a trusted family member, I would trust her with my life, love my family. This is a blood family member. I went under the full moon and created an account. Well, I am a germaphobe and a strangerphobe because I was taught you don't speak to strangers and you better not speak to strangers. So I had to delete the account because I had like 400 messages, and it's all about aesthetic appeal, and it was like too many options. And I said, this is what men in Atlanta talk about. The numbers is so high, and it's this many women to this many men, and they got too many options. If you have too many options, you are not going to find anyone of value because you're not spending enough time to research that situation, to feed into it, to fertilize it, and see if your plant can grow. It's like planting a seed. So some plants, I just planted a box garden. Some plants grow well under some fertilizer and certain dirt, and some don't. So if you do a little sprinkle of fertilizer, doesn't mean you're always going to grow something, but you at least got to give it a try and give it some sunshine and a little bit of light. I tell everybody I'm an exotic plant. I need to be watered often, and I love the light. So anyone that has to try to date me, and I reciprocate those feelings, you would have to do those things. So I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know how we're going to meet people. I am still very scared to go out, and people that know me know I'm the party princess. But I am very scared to go out of the home and hang out at parties anymore. So we have to come up with something. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on that, and you can DM me for more questions. If you're an app developer, I need that. If you are a social media mogul in marketing, I need some content creation for my businesses. I need some content creation for marketing my book, some analytics on Instagram and Facebook, and some more resources as far as how to embrace professionally and personally the new norm. I don't know what happened to her.
I apologize.
That was her dating site.
My dating site was alarming me that my Prince Charming was on the way, and I wanted to make sure that it was the right person.
She's running out the kids' frogs.
I wanted to put the theory to motion, and see what would happen. I'm not married yet, y'all. So clearly, we'll just keep on going with that.
I'm divorced, now, happily, at certain times until they mess with my inner Zen, I am happily divorced, and I wish him the best of luck in his Zen place, and I am no longer 12 years a slave. So, Amistad, we be free. Now, what else we talking about tonight?
So, just going back to so just imagine, or let's just say that somebody that dug in the crates and you reconnected with the person, or you met somebody at the grocery store in your mask and they asked you out. Mind you, if you don't have a mask on and we meet you in Home Depot, which is where we spend a lot of our time, or Lowe's usually.
I'm a Lowe's girl. I cannot. Home Depot is like Aldi's.
It's got some problems. But I've been known to go to the garden section a little bit often, only because I don't have to mingle and mix, and I like their garden
My
section.
secret place is Cowan, Ace Hardware. They have everything.
Oh, they definitely do.
And it's intimate,
And the Tractor
small.
Supply store too.
Nobody's there.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
amazing. So if you do come up to ladies without a mask on, those ladies that care about the pandemic and kind of have a little bit of guidelines when it comes to that, if you don't have a mask on, don't even bother. But if you do get past all of those guidelines, and here we are, what do you do when you go on a date? How do you social distance date physically? Is it a Zoom thing? Do you do the FaceTime for a couple of times and then you decide to venture out and go somewhere on a patio? I mean, that seems to be the most logical way to do it. I've been on one Zoom date, one pandemic date, I should say. It was quite interesting. It was quite interesting in the aspect of the way that it had to be done and the precautions that I had and the nervousness that I had, only because I was definitely terrified of being on the same page with the person when it came down to where we were going to meet and what my expectation was. And then also you have to trust that the person is giving you the proper information in order to make a decision. So it definitely was kind of scary. Not sure that I'm going to do it again, but possibly.
She's not going to do that date again.
Well, no, that particular one isn't going to happen again. Yeah,
There are other factors.
There are much more, and that's not what this show is about. However, generally, you know, I was glad that I did it because it was like a notch on, it was like you took one for the team. You're alive. You came back to tell the story.
Okay.
So
14 days later, you're still here.
I'm still here. Not a sniffle or a cough. So I'm good. But then that takes it takes away, because obviously we're not going to kiss because, exactly. So now are we still dating? Would it still be called a date if there's no possibility for affection or anything like that, because I'm so afraid to?
No, yes, it's still a date if there's a mental connection.
Right.
I'm very sapiosexual.
So do we have
I'm
a
attracted
14-day
to the
guideline?
mind.
I am as well, but say 3 dates down the line. Now I guess you're talking to them more often, so now you know that they're not in the strip club or wherever they're not in places. But then how do you ever get comfortable enough to be able to trust that so that the first kiss can happen at some point?
Oh, I don't know. We're already into next year.
That's weird.
We're already
that's what I mean.
2021 with that. But
Right.
it's fine. It's fine.
It is.
Woosah.
Because if that's the case, we could have just did this on the phone. I didn't need to leave my house for that.
No, it didn't. Well, I leave my house and I dress up and I post cute pictures because I like looking at my damn self.
Right, but I don't need to be with you to do that.
I don't need to be with anybody.
Right.
I just be happy that I went out. So my accomplishment was going to a grown folks private birthday party at STK, very intimate, and I'm still allowed to talk about it. And I got to dress up like party princess.
Yeah,
Again, that was amazing for me. So I'm doing some poolside photo shoots coming up, and I'm very excited about those things. And then I could just bask in the pictures was nice, and I created memories. Let's talk about travel. I haven't been able to try. I normally like to travel, and I was taking this time after divorce to work on me and heal myself, and I'm still doing that and fixing my house. But now I don't smoke weed. You see, I'm like sipping on this pinches at a time. I'm not like a big drinker.
Your vice was was traveling.
My vice was leaving the United States for 30 to 60 days, working remotely. So I'm fine with the working remotely. I just don't necessarily like all the staff working remotely and none of the customers coming in. That's a whole nother conversation. But I love to travel. So now I cannot travel. So I don't know what I'm going to pick up. So I really don't know what the habit is going to be. This is my new
what
habit.
You picked up. We can put little backgrounds. And
I can still fit this dress. I was rocking this dress before COVID. I can still fit it. I'm going to get a nice photo shoot this weekend. I had a nice photo shoot coming out with some new professional headshots. I'm going to get ready to start marketing the women's tour for next year. We are branding and growing businesses virtually. I still need a marketing person, virtual marketing person, content creation, flyer creation,
app creators,
digital analytics and marketing. DM me because I need some pricing. I'm really kind of scared to show property so much anymore, especially to strangers. I had a buyer gone wild incident. Almost ended me up in family court.
Yeah, that alone was enough to just not even want to do that for a minute. That needs a break.
So I don't know about that. And we'll see. But at
cooking, and we've all become chefs. I mean, there's been recipes flying back and forth, and I mean that's the good thing about this whole thing is also that it gave you a time to tap into those creative things and things that you would want to have done with your families or things about yourself that you probably have neglected for a while because you were too busy. And it's not to say that you're not busy now, but it's a different kind of busy. It's much slower. There's not that sense of urgency to get places. I mean, in essence.
I'm about to be like, who is that blonde?
It is in essence. There's a lot more pieces moving around and we're doing a lot more things, but not racing around along with it, trying to go out to a party, doing all these social things. I feel like taking away the social aspect of our lives, kids with football, there's a lot of things that we do on a regular basis, day to day, that have been released.
But my kids are the kings of Southridge, so they got a whole little bicycle club.
But it's local. It's local. It's not like you gotta go anywhere. They ain't picking them up. They're driving themselves.
They drive themselves. They bounce from my house to the next basketball court, to the next basketball court, to the next pool in the subdivision. So now I want to go over Johnny's house. We going into a studio over KK house. We gonna go. They done recorded a rap song. What did he say? He's gonna do something with tomato paste. He's gonna catch a case with tomato paste. That song is coming out soon.
Look for it, coming soon.
It's a 9-year-old, 11-year-old rap song. It was entertaining, but his beat was fly. He learned how to get on the tables. We're mentoring our kids. We have husband training 101. Right. Anytime yard work or things that a man would do at the house or have to be done, we line up the boys and it's husband training, so they have to do that.
We have the contract to show them how to do things. It's amazing. It's actually a really good experience. And then the other thing I think is because you're more in an intimate setting with your kids, you with me anyway, I've recognized things about my child that I may not have seen because we would be in passing a lot more. Or there's conversations that have been had that need to be had, but they're in a more delicate and more of a they're just in a more real-time way than they would be in hindsight. Like, oh, you know what I did the other day? Now I'm there. I'm watching it happen. He's coming to me and asking questions that he may not have before because he may have forgot. They're boys, so they have, selective memory sometimes. So it for me, it's been a learning experience, and there's been a lot of growth.
It is. I discovered when I was trying to mirror cast that there are a whole bunch of free educational apps on the Fire Stick on Amazon TV. So my kids do 2 lessons in Spanish and 2 lessons in German a day. They practice their sight words on the TV, 2 lessons a day with the au pair before they can go outside and ride their bike. Right. So they're very committed to getting out of my house and ride their bikes, and they've lost some weight because they're riding their bikes nonstop. Even me, the person who would rather pay than exercise whatever it is.
I concur.
I would rather pay or have a skin treatment, or I'm not paying for a new body. And no, my butt is totally real. I have 5 kids, 3 boys, back to back. It puts on a lot of hip and thighs, so we're not going down that road, people. I got the dimples to prove it and the cellulite. But I would rather go get somebody to do a skin tightening treatment and roll a piece of wood up and down my back.
100%.
Lymphatic drainage massage. Starve myself to death.
Yes.
Take the skinny lasso tea.
Yes, ISO tea.
ISO tea. Take a smooth move every night. Whatever I got. Starve myself. Then the sweat. But I have been doing water aerobics.
Yes, you have.
That's amazing. I exercise 3 times a week, and then I do dog lifts. Anyone who knows you need that for the glutes.
Even if you decide to go get any of this, I'm totally with whatever you feel like doing for yourself is on you. But if you go spend a whole bunch of money to get somebody to nip and tuck and do all these things and think you're gonna go eat Krispy Kreme donuts and not
gonna work.
Any type of cardio or anything, it's not gonna work. So
it's not gonna work.
Just do something. Whatever you gotta do. Get yourself a waist trainer. You want to keep them abs looking good, and sweat a little bit. Go up and down the stairs. I mean, we can use anything in our houses to do.
Yeah, you can dance around in your house. Cause what I was really losing weight from before, cause I was the party princess, and I still hold the party princess title. Those who saw me at the Super Bowl would know. Maxim, baby, Maxim. Wow. But the party princess
that
does stiletto workouts. Cause when I go out to the club, I dance like they dance at the Mexican Peach over there. I'ma dance all night in my heels. I'ma go low and come up, and I'm dancing all night, moving around. I'm so happy I'm out. We doing salsa. We doing whatever we can do.
Whatever comes on is happening.
We are dancing everywhere to every genre of music. So my stiletto workouts have now been replaced with water aerobics. This week I'm doing 1 day of water aerobics, and I walked already. I did my arm exercises in my room, my little push-ups, yoga, because I need the Zen meditation.
It helps your spirit.
And helps you not harm your kids.
Yes.
Because you're in there with them 24 hours a day now. And it gives you guidance. I'm working on aligning my chakras and all of those things. So I think we talked about, let's talk about this too, the pop-up pregnancies.
Yeah, we definitely have to touch that. So I've noticed that there's some people that had babies. So congratulations to those people. Sierra, couple other people that had babies. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember anybody else, but she was the most recent, I guess.
Oh, Anderson Cooper had a baby. Love it.
Oh yes. Oh, that's amazing.
After him and Sanjay Gupta reviewed my governor, Mr. Kent, for getting up on the news and saying that he just found out that asymptomatic people could give others coronavirus. After we all listened to this for over a month, he just found out. And Anderson Cooper 360, or whatever his name is, Anderson Cooper 360, and Sanjay Gupta were on the show the next day talking about this, looking like they were deer caught in headlights. They could not understand how you could be in the same state as the CDC and not
know that. Who do they report to, if not you?
It was astonishing. So after that, back today, congratulations to him, because he had a beautiful little baby.
Yes, and he deserves it.
That was amazing. Sierra, I'm like
ecstatic.
I'm ecstatic. I love the romance and the progression from the bad boy to the good boy. That's hot boy. That's stand-up dad. That's loving his family. Love it.
That's great.
Delicious got married. She got a good little husband. What's the dude from here? What's the guy from here? They seem to be happy. Lizzo got a boyfriend. Everybody.
Does Lizzo have a boyfriend?
Didn't she have a boyfriend?
No, that was maybe she does, but what's her name? Precious, wasn't it Precious? What's her name?
Precious got a boyfriend?
Yeah, Precious has a cute boyfriend too, so.
Right. Two snaps.
Gabby Sidibe or whatever. Yes. And she seems like not that I know her personally.
Nikki got a husband. Nikki has come like a storm.
Yes.
Like her store fly. She
A whole belly.
Even the little boy, what's the boy she
Safari and
Erica. All these people.
So apparently love is in the air.
Love is in the air.
And his Cupid is on his job somewhere.
And these couples are just coming together. We also are battling depression now. We have to pray for Tamar. And I pray that
Nick Cannon seems like he's having a couple of issues.
Well, he got kicked off of the show unnecessarily.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Totally unnecessary.
But who knew that he was battling depression? Because this is what brought it out. Apparently, he's had these thoughts before, and he had other things that were going on, like his best friend apparently committed suicide not long ago as well, which triggered something in him. The I guess domino effect of all the things that were just coming back to back. So hopefully he can find some peace. And
depression is real.
It is real.
And a lot of people pray for your friends, even your strong friends that look great on paper. You think they got everything. More money. Biggie even sang about this. More money. More problems.
And deeper problems.
And they are big problems. They just as big as the money. So you really have to pray.
And money doesn't solve mental health issues. It could get you medical help, but it is up to you to be able to find what works for you through different areas. And it could be a combination of a bunch of different things.
It could be some friend or family intervention, faith. I don't care what faith, Muslim, dress up in your abaya, whatever you got to do.
Right.
All right? You just got to do what's right. Even DJ Khaled with the little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's so
Aren't
cute.
Those the cutest
They're so
kids?
cute.
Oh my God.
Ooh, they're
cute. Adorable.
They're adorable.
Okay, so that, and then who else?
Oh, Zanique. We didn't know she was pregnant.
Popped up with a belly.
She like dude.
Nikki kind of did that too, though.
Nikki
was just in 6ix9ine's video. They did a video about 2 months ago.
But Nikki popped up with
belly.
a husband and a baby,
right?
And we didn't even know anything about this. We were just
blindsided.
But I'm with her.
That is amazing.
I'm with her. I'm
and
happy.
Remy's pregnant again too. That's great.
Now
that is the story that takes the cake. We all need to find a papoose.
Ooh, we need a papoose in our life. Now that is a great story. I love it.
I agree.
I love
Black
Chrissy
love
and
at
Jimmy.
its finest.
Black love, Chrissy and Jimmy. We have a lot of black love.
Yes. And even this is gonna sound like I'm making a joke, but even Jada and Will, throughout all the shenanigans, the
entanglements that they had through,
they still on the same united team. They've been through this, and without the public seeing it, it came to and backfired.
We're
and they got in front of
entanglements right now.
Well, I would like to not go through the web, but you got to take what you can
But
get.
we have non-disclosure agreements. You cannot talk about the entanglements to promote your CD.
And I would suggest you don't call it an entanglement. Let's call it something else.
No, I'm the synonym princess. So
this is true.
Because I will be like, what is a synonym? That word. Especially if I want to tell somebody really good. But what I like about Will and Jada, and you guys can research this, there's a divine feminine and a divine masculine in every relationship, regardless of sex. You can Google that. And sometimes the women take on the more divine masculine. That entanglement answer was something straight out of the Player Pimp Handbook. Mm-hmm. I could hear a man, Shaggy. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was an entanglement. Right. It was not me. So that shows me at that particular point at the table, at the red table, and this is the safe table.
He definitely wasn't ready for that.
He wasn't ready for the entanglement. He thought it was
hard. He was like, "Oh, what?"
She was trying to do what men do.
Yeah. And she succeeded because it is now a hashtag.
It's a hashtag. But we love her for that.
Yes. So, and she was honest, and they had this discussion. It didn't break them. They were able to joke about it at this point. Now, there were a couple of moments where you were like,
Nobody looked like domestic violence.
Yeah, they didn't look angry.
They didn't. It looked like attention, but it looked like something they already worked out. It showed men that you can also love past indiscretion,
which is something hard for men to do.
It was very hard to do because they think they can dish it out. It showed men vulnerability,
right,
on his part,
and strength
on his part.
Because as his wife, and no matter what we thought about it, he stands by her. Just like historically women have done who aren't Will and Jada.
As Hillary. And I'm not mad at her.
Me neither.
Stand for your family. I'm not mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
If you can stand for your family. Some flats
You can't
cannot
do
be
that.
patched.
Yeah, you
but so
can't
many
do
times.
it and bring it up all the time, though. There's a difference. Now, if you're going to stand by your family and forgive somebody for something, it should be in the past with the act.
Correct.
You can't, every time the person, you got to move forward. And that's probably the key to healing in general. That if you're going to get past something, or if you want to heal from something, you take the time, it hurts, you do what you need to do in order to move forward. But once you get to that place of healing, leave it where it is.
Right.
And if you can't do that, then that
Then
may
let it
not
go.
something for you to, and you got to
Let
know
it
that
go.
about yourself.
You know that about yourself.
Right.
Let it go and grow. So I think this was a great first week. We didn't do any marketing for this. I'm so excited to start doing this every week, and we'll just see what topics you guys DM us and ask us questions.
And they don't have to be serious. It could be light. It could be anything. Whatever you guys want to hear about or whatever's going on. And we'll do our research. We kind of see what's going on. We're on the gram and stuff. So we see, oh, that was another thing we didn't talk about. TikTok.
Well, TikTok, because my son is very upset about the president saying he's going to take TikTok down. And he
It's
was
still
like,
here, though,
I'm
by the
just
way.
mad at him. Well, that's because the TikTok CEO is now talking to the White House. So
Right.
stay woke, people.
Yes.
Google is now owned by the government.
Right.
Apple has been in negotiation with the government. Facebook, even this Instagram, they're watching us right now.
It is regulated.
TikTok was not allowing their platform to be regulated by the government, so the government forced to shut them down. So stay woke. You can apply that same concept to the social media platforms and the digital currency platforms if you listen up. If the government cannot, and multi-governments cannot control an entity or have reign over an entity or access to that entity or platform, it's probably not ever going to be real.
Right.
Or they're going to shut it down. But, hey, it is what it is. Now, what else? We're
that
not going
note-
to talk about everything.
On that note,
And check the numbers, because we got, everyone was talking about Cuomo. Cuomo is my dude. Cuomo
That
should be
is-
president.
yeah.
Cuomo is clear, concise, transparent. I'm very passionate about that part.
But
When it
he's
first-
a critical thinker, which is the biggest part of his job.
But when this thing first
Yeah.
rolled out, they were sliding him under the bus
Oh, yeah.
on a damn surfboard
Mm-hmm.
and dogging him out.
Right.
He handled New York. Why we ain't talking about Newsom in California? Why we not talking about over here in Florida or Kent or down there in Texas? These are the new hot spots. Jersey and
I mean, they need to be
Jersey
talking
and New
about
York
what
done
Kemp
dropped all the way down.
Right.
So we need to pay attention. Best app ever, World O Meter. You can
Yes.
track the numbers, you can track the deaths, and I'm
In your
all
particular area, down to the county, which is amazing. And it says it's real time. It really isn't. But it's pretty accurate.
it's on someone else's time. We just
Yeah,
haven't figured
it
out
may
what
not
country
be on
it is.
our time, but whoever
Somebody's
created it
time.
is on their time. But it's pretty accurate, and you can also see graphs and just see not just in the U.S. but every country.
But the graph goes like this. It doesn't go like this. It goes. It's going like this. So
It's like-
just pay attention to it. And I'm all for the conspiracy and they're making up these numbers and this is false. I'm fine with that. But the dead people, the insurance checks that I had to cut this week, there are real dead people.
And there's a lot of them at one particular time surrounding this pandemic. So whatever's killing them
It's
is
something.
something.
I don't want to get it. And it's a 0.25% of those infected is holding about 0.23%. So if you just do the math, it's math. Numbers never lie. Follow the math. Because at the rate of growth we're going, if we don't put a stop to this medically, somewhere by 6 months from now, we are going to multiply these numbers probably from how many deaths is it? We might be up to 600 or 700,000, but it's just a math equation. You can ask anybody who's an actuary who does numbers. Those are math numbers, even though it's hard to
So
think
what's the
about.
projection? 200,000 more deaths?
No, we're on like 150 or 180,000. We're talking about in a 6 month time frame at the rate of death that is going. possibly 700,000 people in the U.S. That's a problem, people. So,
because that means that's going to be if it's not you, which we hope it isn't, is going to be a bunch of people you know, or people that you may do business with or not know directly. But if you think about it, the statistic was originally 1 in 10 people had it. But 1 in 10 people is not a lot, and that one person
no, 1 in 10 people is a lot.
No. Oh. It doesn't seem like it is, but that 1 in 10 people in one particular group. But now if that one person goes to Kroger and goes to this place and goes to that place, it becomes a lot more than 1 in 10.
1 in 10 people is a high.
It's a high. Yeah.
It's a huge.
And it just takes one person to infect those 10 people.
Yeah, that's
the problem.
So just follow the numbers. You don't have to listen to me. Follow the numbers and the deaths. I don't care about they saying it's this many cases, and their numbers are going to increase because you got more testing.
Right.
But the death is what I'm focused on, because I don't want to be on that part of the graph or that part of the herd immunity. So we look forward to hearing the rest of your topics for next Wednesday.
Tune in.
We hope that you wind down. Tomorrow is Thriving Thursday, so we will be doing self-care mani-pedis.
Oh, that's going to be
with the mask, private location.
Undisclosed.
Undisclosed. So let's go ahead. We will hear from all of you soon.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for tuning in. And maybe we'll do a wellness class and do some yoga.
I would like that.
Okay. Or the pool aerobics Saturday. Saturday is pool aerobics.
That went well.